The notification from my banking app popped up while I was on the balcony, watering my freesias. It was a transfer notification from the joint down payment account I shared with Liam. The amount was $100,000. The recipient was named Luna. I put down the watering can, unlocked my phone, and opened the dedicated app. In the account balance section, in front of a long string of zeros, stood a lonely $3.52. For that $100,000, we had eaten at the company cafeteria for 2 months straight. I had given up all my afternoon teas and new clothes. Liam had sold his beloved gaming console. For 3 whole years, I didn't call him, nor did I send a message. I went back into the living room, sat on the sofa, and waited quietly. At 7:30 in the evening, the lock turned. Liam came in humming a song, holding a trendy cake I'd been mentioning for days. He placed the cake on the coffee table and leaned in to kiss me. I held my phone up in front of him. The screen displayed the glaring transfer record. The smile on his face froze for a moment. Then he straightened up nonchalantly, changing his shoes as he spoke. "Oh, that. I was just about to tell you. Luna got divorced, left with nothing, and she's having a really hard time. She wants to start a small business, so I figured since we weren't using the money just yet, I'd lend it to her to get started." I looked at him, saying nothing. My stare made him a little uncomfortable, and his voice rose slightly. "What's with that look? She was left with nothing. How could I not help her? Besides, we've been friends for so many years. Luna, his first love." He neatly placed his shoes in the cabinet, then walked back over, his tone softening. "I told her, 6 months at most, and she'll pay us back. She wrote an IOU. Don't you trust me?" He expected me to question him, to cry, to argue as I had countless times before over his overly familiar friendship with Luna. I didn't. I just stood up, walked into the bedroom, and pulled down the 24-inch suitcase from the top of the closet. I laid it flat on the floor and opened it. Liam followed me in, his brows furrowed, his voice filled with impatience. "Ava, what are you doing now? Is this really necessary? I already said she'll pay it back." I ignored him and went straight to the closet, starting to pack my clothes into the suitcase. A few summer t-shirts, 2 pairs of my favorite jeans, a set of pajamas, then my toiletry bag, into which I placed my skincare products one by one. He crossed his arms, leaning against the doorframe with a sneer. "Fine, throw your tantrum. I'll watch. You pull this every time. Is it fun? I'm the one who lent the money. I'm the one who's wrong. But can't you be a little more understanding? Luna is in such a difficult situation right now, and you have to be so aggressive." I paid him no mind, walked to the desk, unplugged my laptop, and tucked it along with its charger into the suitcase's side pocket. Then came the household register from the drawer, my passport, and my diploma. There wasn't much. I was packed quickly. I closed the suitcase, zipped it up, and extended the handle. Throughout the entire process, the only sounds in the room were the rustle of fabric and the slide of the zipper. Liam's expression shifted from annoyance to bewilderment, and then to a flicker of panic. "You're serious? You're breaking up with me over $100,000? I pulled the suitcase past him. He instinctively reached out to grab me, but I sidestepped him easily. I walked to the entryway, put on my shoes, and then, right in front of him, I took out my phone and made a call. "Hello, Dave. Could you come over to Starlight Complex, Building 7, Unit 1, Apartment 1102 with your tools?" "Yes. To change the lock cylinder. I want the highest security grade. I'll send you a photo of my ID right away." The man on the other end cheerfully agreed. I hung up and looked at Liam. He was completely stunned. The color drained from his face, and his lips moved as if he were seeing me for the first time. "Ava, are you insane?" I didn't answer him. I just opened the door, dragged my suitcase out, and left. The door slammed shut behind me, cutting off all his sounds. I sat on a bench downstairs for 10 minutes. Dave arrived on his rattling electric scooter. Seeing me, he took off his helmet and gave me a good-natured smile. "Hey, miss, calling me out this late. Had a fight with the boyfriend." I stood up and handed him my ID. "Thanks for coming, Dave. Here's a photo of the property deed. The management office has already approved it." In the elevator, he was still trying to mediate. "You know how it is with couples. You fight and you make up. Once this lock is changed, things get serious. Are you sure about this?" I nodded. "I'm sure." Opening the door, changing the lock, the whole process took less than 20 minutes. Liam never came out. I don't know if he was still in shock or just didn't want to make the scene uglier. After Dave finished, he handed me a new set of keys and explained how to use them. I transferred him the fee on the spot, along with a $20 tip. After he left, I placed one of the new keys on the shoe cabinet in the entryway, then closed the door and locked it from the outside with another new key. With that done, I pulled my suitcase and walked into the elevator. When the elevator reached the ground floor and the doors opened, I saw Liam standing at the building entrance. He still had that look of utter disbelief. Seeing me, he rushed over and grabbed the handle of my suitcase. "Ava, what the hell are you doing? Changing the locks? What gives you the right to change the locks? The apartment is in my name. Why can't I?" I looked at him calmly. He was speechless for a moment, his face flushing red. "It's premarital property. Yes, your parents bought it, but we've been together for 3 years, and we saved that 100,000 together, and for that, you're kicking me out." "I'm not kicking you out. The key is on the shoe cabinet," I said, "but we're over." "Over? You say it's over, and it's over. Ava, don't be so childish," he practically yelled, "just because I lent money to Luna. I admit I was wrong for not discussing it with you first, and I apologize, but can't you try to understand? She's a friend I grew up with." I looked at his eyes, red with agitation, and said nothing. I took out my phone, started the voice recorder, and dialed another number. The phone rang 3 times before a soft female voice answered. "Hello, Liam, why are you calling so late? Is Ava giving you trouble again?" It was Luna. Liam's body went rigid. He stared in disbelief at the phone in my hand, then at his own pockets. I had it on speaker. Luna's voice came through clearly. I knew she'd be angry. "It's all my fault. Liam, why don't you give her the money back for now? I'll figure something else out. I don't want you two to fight because of me." Her voice broke into a sob. "I just don't know what to do on my own. I got nothing in the divorce, and now I don't even have a place to live." Liam's face went from red to white, then to a sickly green. He tried to snatch my phone, but I stepped back and dodged him. I spoke into the phone, word by word. "Miss Luna, the 100,000 Liam lent you was the down payment for our marital home. Did you know that?" The other end went silent. After a good 10 seconds, Luna's voice, soft but filled with grievance, replied, I didn't know. Liam didn't tell me." "Well, you know now," I said. "This money, half of it belongs to me, and half to him. I can't control his half, but my 50,000 was an illegal misappropriation of our joint assets. I'm giving you 2 choices now. First, return the 50,000 to me, immediately. Second, I'll call the police and report you for conspiring with Liam in fraudulent conversion." I heard a sharp intake of breath from the phone. Liam roared, "Ava, don't you go too far." I ignored him, still speaking into the phone as I pressed the number 3 on my keypad. "Miss Luna, I'm starting the countdown. 3, 2, I'll return it." Before I could say 1, Luna's shrill voice came through the phone. "I'll return it right now. Send me your account number." Her voice was filled with suppressed rage and humiliation. "Ava, you don't have to be so ruthless, do you? Liam and I are just friends." "Liam knows the account number," I said, and hung up. Liam's chest was heaving. He glared at me, as if trying to burn 2 holes through me with his eyes. "Are you happy now? Are you happy? Forcing Luna to return the money? She's a newly divorced woman. What is she supposed to do now?" I put my phone back in my pocket, walked around him, and continued towards the complex gate. He chased after me again, grabbing my arm with a force that felt like it could crush my bones. "I'm talking to you, Ava." I stopped and looked back at him, my gaze falling on the hand gripping my arm. "Let go." "No, we're not finished talking. You're not going anywhere." He was determined to wear me down. "Is our 3-year relationship only worth 50,000? Is that the kind of person you think I am?" I didn't speak. I took out my phone and opened my photo album. I found the screenshot and held it in front of his eyes. It was a screenshot of a social media post from Luna, posted 1 hour ago, a 9-photo grid, each one featuring a luxury item. The latest Chanel CF handbag, a Van Cleef Arpels Clover necklace, and a Cartier Ballon Bleu watch. The caption read, "Thank you, I'm so glad I have you. The start of a new life." The location was tagged at the most expensive shopping mall in the city. Liam's pupils contracted violently. He stared at the screenshot in disbelief, then at me, his lips trembling, unable to form a single word. "She told you she was left with nothing and was having a hard time," I said, each word deliberate and clear in the quiet of the underground garage. "And then she took our down payment and bought herself over $30,000 worth of accessories. Liam, do you think she's having a hard time?" He let go of my arm as if all his strength had been drained, stumbling back a step. "No, that's impossible. Luna isn't that kind of person. There must be some misunderstanding." "A misunderstanding?" I put my phone away. "That Ballon Bleu watch. We saw it at the boutique 3 months ago. You said it was too expensive. That would buy it after we bought the apartment. Have you forgotten? His face went completely white. Just then, a pair of blinding headlights shone on us. A black Porsche Cayenne pulled up smoothly beside me, the window rolled down, and the man in the driver's seat leaned out. He wore a pair of gold-rimmed glasses, his features gentle as he smiled at me. Ava, get in. Liam looked as if he had been struck by lightning. He stared blankly at the man in the car, then at me, his eyes filled with a shocked, bewildered, and unfamiliar feeling. Who is he? I didn't answer him. I opened the car door, put my suitcase in the back seat, and then got into the passenger seat. I buckled my seatbelt and said to the man at the wheel, "Let's go, Damien." The car pulled away smoothly, leaving Liam and the look of utter devastation on his face far behind. In the rearview mirror, his figure grew smaller and smaller, finally becoming a blurry black dot. I took out my phone. A new bank notification had just arrived. Your account ending in XXXX received a deposit of 50,000.00 at 22:18. Your current balance is 50,003.52. I took a screenshot of the message, packaged it with the screenshot of Luna's post, and sent it to Liam. Then, I blocked him and Luna on all platforms. The car was quiet, with only soft music playing. The man driving was my brother, Damien. He just drove in silence, not asking a single question. He didn't drive to my parents' house, but stopped in front of a residential complex I had never seen before. "We're here. This is where you'll be living from now on," Damien said, unbuckling his seatbelt. It was a villa complex with a modern Chinese architectural style. The security guards at the gate saw Damien's car and immediately saluted and opened the gate. The car stopped in front of a 3-story house with its own yard filled with flowers. "Damien, I bought the land 2 years ago, and it was just finished last year. I was going to give it to you as a wedding gift, but it seems it'll be just fine for you to live in alone." He took my suitcase from the trunk, his tone as casual as if he were commenting on the weather. I followed him into the house. The interior was decorated in my favorite natural wood style. It was fully furnished, and even the walk-in closet was filled with the latest season's women's wear, the tag still on. "I have my assistant send a new batch in your size every month. I figured you might need it at any time," Damien said, placing my suitcase in the entryway. "There's food in the fridge. The code is your birthday. Get some rest. We can talk about everything else tomorrow." He patted my shoulder and turned to leave. "Damien," I called out. He turned back. "Thank you," he smiled, his voice gentle. "Silly girl, don't be a stranger. Anyone who bullies you, I won't let a single one of them off the hook." After Damien left, I stood alone in the vast, luxurious living room. I didn't look at the beautiful clothes or open the fully stocked fridge. I took off my shoes and, barefoot, walked up to the second floor. The master bedroom opened onto a huge terrace, where a white wicker swing chair hung. I sat down and took out my phone. There were dozens of missed calls, all from Liam. My WeChat had also been bombed, but since I had blocked him, all I could see was a long string of red exclamation marks. I opened our chat history and read through his messages one by one, from initial angry questions, to shock, to a jumble of excuses, and finally to incoherent pleas. "Ava, I was wrong. I was so wrong. Please, let me explain. I didn't know Luna was lying to me. I thought she was really struggling. That 100,000 was our future. I shouldn't have touched it. I'm a bastard. Please don't ignore me. Please come back. Our 3 years together can't just end like this. Your brother. When did you get a brother? Why did you never tell me? Where are you living? Ava, let's meet. Let me apologize to you in person." I read through them all with a blank expression, then opened an app one had never used before. It was an internal family communication app. I tapped on Damien's profile and sent him a message. "Damien, I need you to run a background check on Luna." Then, I tapped on another profile. "My father's. Dad, isn't there a project that Titan Group is looking to partner with Liam's company on?" The replies were almost instantaneous. "Damien, done. My dad. How did you know? Did he upset you?" I replied, "Cancel it. I don't like that company." My dad. "Alright, I'm calling Mr. Zhang right now." After doing all this, I put my phone on silent and tossed it aside. I lay back on the swing chair and watched the stars. The night sky seemed exceptionally beautiful tonight. The next day, I woke up naturally. I opened the curtains, and sunlight flooded the room. I chose a white dress from the walk-in closet, went downstairs, and saw Damien sitting at the dining table, reading a newspaper. A fine breakfast was laid out. "You're awake. Come and eat," he said, looking up with a smile. I sat down and took a sip of the warm milk. I found it, Damien said, pushing a file towards me. That Luna woman did get a divorce, but she wasn't left with nothing. Her ex-husband is a senior executive at a publicly listed company. He gave her a large settlement, plus a luxury apartment in the city center. Her so-called startup is a partnership in an influencer and boutique that resells luxury goods. What you saw on her social media was her stock. As for her claim of having nowhere to live, that luxury apartment of hers was just renovated last month. I nodded, finishing the last bite of my sandwich. Got it. What are you going to do? Damien asked. People who reap what they don't sow must pay a price, I said, wiping my mouth with a napkin. Damien, do you know anyone at the tax bureau? A smile flickered behind Damien's glasses. I'll make an appointment for you. After breakfast, I received a call from an unknown number. I answered. It was Liam's mother, her voice tinged with a cautious, ingratiating tone. Hello, is that Ava? It's me, Liam's mom. Do you remember me? Hello, ma'am. Oh, good, good. She gave a dry laugh. Ava, dear, I heard from Liam that you two had a fight. We broke up. I corrected her directly. There was a silence on the other end. Then her voice rose. Broke up? Why would you break up? That boy, he never tells me anything. Ava, dear, don't be angry. Liam is just a bit thoughtless. If he did something to wrong you, you tell me, and I'll teach him a lesson for you. He didn't do anything wrong. We're just not compatible. How can you not be compatible? You two have always gotten along so well. You were even about to buy a house. Is it because of that Luna girl? Don't worry. After I found out, I gave him a good scolding. That money, our family will scrape together every penny to pay you back. Please don't break up with him. Please. Her voice started to crack. Ma'am, it's not about the money. I don't care. Ava, I've already accepted you as my daughter-in-law. Tell me where you are now. I'll come and find you. We can talk in person. Okay. I was silent for a moment, then gave her the name of a coffee shop in the city center that Damien had arranged. I'll be there at 3 this afternoon. After hanging up, Damien looked at me. You're going to see her. Some things have to be said to their face, I said. At 3 in the afternoon, I arrived at the coffee shop. Liam and his mother were already there. Both had dark circles under their eyes, as if they hadn't slept all night. Seeing me, Liam's mother immediately stood up, grabbed my hand, her eyes red. Ava, you're finally here. Look at you. You've lost weight. Liam also stood, his lips moving as if he wanted to say something, but no words came out. He just looked at me with a mixture of regret and pleading. I pulled my hand away and sat down opposite them. Ma'am, I came today to make things clear. Liam and I are over. Don't say that. Ava, Liam's mother said anxiously. Listen to me. It's all Liam's fault. He's a bastard. He's a fool. Don't hold it against him. Our family has already put together the 50,000 for you. Look. She took out a bank card from her bag and tried to push it towards me. I didn't take it. Ma'am, I told you. It's not about the money. I looked at Liam. Liam, you tell me, why did we break up? Liam's face flushed, and he stammered. Because I lent the money to Luna without talking to you. It's more than that. I interrupted. It's because in your heart, your first love is more important than our 3 years together. More important than the future we planned. That's not true, he argued desperately. It's not. I was just confused for a moment. Really? I took out my phone and played a recording. It was the second half of my call with Luna from the day before. The part 1 hadn't played in front of Liam. Ava, don't be so smug. Luna's venomous voice came through. The one Liam loves is me. It's always been me. He's only with you because you look a little like me. He told me so himself. You're just my replacement. The coffee shop was quiet. Every word of the recording struck Liam and his mother's eardrums like a hammer. Liam's face, in an instant, turned deathly white. The color drained from Liam's mother's face. She stared at her son in disbelief, her lips trembling, unable to speak for a long time. As for Liam, he looked as if all the energy had been drained from him. He sank back into his chair, his eyes empty, muttering, "No, that's not what she said. That's not what she meant." I turned off the recording and looked at him calmly. Whether that's what she meant or not doesn't matter anymore. I said, what matters is that when you repeatedly ignored me for her, when you accused me of being insecure to defend her, when you took the foundation of our future to pay for her lies, you had already made your choice, ma'am. I turned to Liam's mother, who was now crying. I once thought that if I worked hard enough, if I was good enough, he would one day completely let go of the past, but now I understand. Some people, some things, are etched in their very being. I don't want to be anyone's replacement anymore, and I don't want to gamble my future on a man's change of heart. With that, I stood up. Ava, Liam's mother cried, grabbing my arm. Give him another chance. He knows he was wrong. He really does. Liam also snapped out of his daze. He rushed over and, with a thud, knelt before me in front of everyone in the coffee shop. Ava, I was wrong. I was so wrong. Forgive me this one last time. He grabbed the hem of my dress, crying uncontrollably. The one I love is you. It's always been you. What Luna said was all lies. She tricked me. She wanted to destroy us. I've cut her off completely. I've deleted all her contact information. Please, believe me. All eyes were on us, filled with curiosity and judgment. I didn't look at them. I just looked down at the man kneeling on the floor. You love me? I asked softly, as if grasping a lifeline. He nodded frantically. I do. I love you. Ava, I only love you. Then tell me. I pulled my dress from his grasp, took a step back, and looked down at him. What is my favorite fruit? He froze. What is my favorite movie? His mouth opened, his eyes darting around in panic. Last month, on our 3rd anniversary, what brand was the watch I gave you? He was completely speechless, his face a mask of panic and blankness. We had been together for 3 years, and he didn't even know I was allergic to mangoes, that I had watched Roman Holiday no less than 20 times, that the Tissot watch I had saved for half a year to buy was now sitting in his drawer at home, never worn once. Liam, you don't love me, I said, looking at his pale face, word by word. You just love the idea of someone who will unconditionally tolerate you, take care of you, and manage your life for you when you need it. Who that person is doesn't matter at all. With that, I turned and walked away, not looking back. Behind me, I heard his mother's shrill cries and his own desperate howls, but I did not falter. The sunlight was a little harsh as I stepped out of the coffee shop. My brother's car was parked by the side of the road. He was leaning against the door, on the phone. Seeing me, he quickly ended the call and opened the car door. All settled? Yes, good. He handed me a file. What you asked for. I opened the file. Inside were all the transaction records from Luna's boutique, as well as detailed evidence of her tax evasion through her personal accounts. I took out my phone and dialed the tax investigation department's whistleblower hotline. Hello, yes, I'd like to make an anonymous report. The call to the whistleblower hotline lasted over half an hour. I laid out everything I knew, along with the evidence my brother Damien had given me, in a clear and organized manner. The person on the other end took it very seriously, recording all the details and promising to immediately form a special investigation team. After hanging up, I let out a long sigh. Damien started the car and asked, "Where to next?" "Home," I said. Back at the villa, I took a long, hot bath and changed into comfortable loungewear. Damien had already ordered takeout from my favorite private kitchen. During dinner, Damien's phone rang. He glanced at the caller ID and put it on speaker. It was my dad's voice, full of energy and suppressed anger. "Damien, did you tell Ava? The Titan project is off." I told her. "That kid, Liam, he was fired on the spot this afternoon." I heard his boss face turned green when he got the call from Mr. Zhang. He chewed him out in front of the whole company, said he had offended the wrong people, that one bad apple had spoiled the bunch. My hand, holding my chopsticks, paused. "And that's not all," my dad continued. "I had someone look into it. To scrape together that 50,000, that kid not only used up his parents' life savings but also took out a bunch of high-interest loans. Now he's lost his job, and the loan sharks are at his door every day. His mom was so angry she ended up in the hospital." Damien glanced at me. I continued eating with a blank expression. "And that Luna woman is no better off. The tax people shut down her shop this afternoon and took all her books. The amount of tax she evaded is huge. It's not just a fine anymore. She might go to jail." Her ex-husband heard about it too. He's now trying to legally reclaim the settlement he gave her, saying she committed marriage fraud. My dad recounted the events with glee, as if telling an interesting story. "Dad," Damien interrupted. "Ava is here." The other end went silent immediately. A moment later, my dad's voice came through again, this time cautious. "Ava, honey, don't be mad at your old man for meddling. Anyone who makes you suffer, it'll make them suffer. Let's just put this behind us. Okay, let's not think about it." "I know, Dad, thank you," I said softly. After hanging up, Damien put a piece of fish on my plate. "Eat up, it's getting cold." I nodded but didn't pick up my chopsticks. I took out my phone and, from the block list, unblocked Liam's number. I sent him a text message. It was simple, the address of my new home. After sending it, I blocked him again and turned off my phone. Damien watched my actions without a word, but a knowing glint flashed behind his glasses. "Damien, I want a drink, I said. He took a bottle of red wine from the cabinet and poured a glass for both of us. We drank in silence, watching the night slowly deepen outside the window. I knew Liam would come. He would definitely come. This was the final curtain call I had prepared for him. Liam arrived sooner than I expected. At 10 o'clock, the doorbell rang. Damien went to open it. I remained on the living room sofa, not moving. Liam stood at the door, looking like a wilted plant. His hair was a mess, his clothes were wrinkled, his eyes were sunken, and his face was covered in stubble. He was a far cry from the clean-cut man I remembered. He flinched when he saw Damien. Then, as if summoning all his courage, he looked past him, his gaze fixed on me. Ava. His voice was raspy. I ignored him, picked up the remote, and turned on the massive projection wall in the living room. Luna's face appeared on the wall. She was in a prison uniform, sitting in an interrogation room, without her usual makeup. She looked haggard and venomous. This was interrogation footage that Damien had obtained through his connections. I admit, I was just jealous of Ava, Luna said to the camera, word by word. Why does she get to have everything? She was just lucky to be born into the right family. And me, I tried my best, but I could never have all of Liam's love. I just wasn't willing to accept it. So when he asked me for help, I went along with it and made up a lie to trick him. I knew that 100,000 was important to them. I wanted to destroy their hope. I wanted to make Ava suffer. A replacement. Heh. Of course I lied about that too. That fool Liam. He believes anything I say. I just wanted him to say it himself. That Ava was just a replacement. And then record it. I wanted her to know that in front of me, she would always be a loser. The recording continued. Liam's body had begun to tremble. He stared at the screen, his expression shifting from shock to rage, and then to utter despair. He spun around to face me, his knees buckling, about to kneel again. Ava, let me explain. I didn't know. I really didn't know that's what she was thinking. Stand up straight. My voice was cold, not loud, but filled with an authority that could not be defied. He froze, as if petrified, not daring to move. I stood up and walked towards him, step by step. Liam, aren't you curious why I never told you about my family background? He looked at me blankly. Because I was looking for a man who loved Ava for who she was, not for the status of the young lady of the Sioux family. I thought you were that man. I let out a soft, mocking laugh. I ate with you in the cafeteria for 3 years, squeezed onto the subway with you for 3 years, saved with you, penny by penny, for a $100,000 down payment. I thought we were working towards a future together. It turns out it was just a one-woman show. Your so-called love is cheap and laughable. You took my affection for granted, while hiding your past from me, pining for your first love, and even letting her use you as a weapon to hurt me. Now, your job is gone, your money is gone, your mother is sick, and the woman you loved and trusted has personally sent you to hell, and you come to me, asking for another chance. I leaned in close, looking into his pupils, which were constricting with fear, and asked, word by word, Liam, do you think you're worthy? His body swayed, as if my words had sapped the last of his strength. He slumped against the doorframe, his face ashen. Show him out. With those 2 words, I turned and walked back into the living room, not sparing him another glance. Damien took a step forward, made a pleased gesture, his tone polite but his eyes ice cold. Liam was escorted out in a daze. The heavy door slowly closed behind him, shutting him out of my world for good. The living room returned to its quiet state. I sat back down on the sofa, picked up the unfinished glass of red wine, and downed it in one go. The next day, my parents flew back from abroad. The moment my mother saw me, her eyes turned red. She hugged me, looking me up and down. My silly girl, you suffered so much. Why didn't you tell us? My father stood by, fuming. That kid got off easy. He should have been left with nothing and spent the rest of his life in jail. I couldn't help but laugh as I comforted them. Dad, Mom, I'm fine. It's all in the past. To cheer me up, my parents chartered a yacht. The 4 of us, me parents, Damien, and I spent 3 days out at sea, under the blue sky, with the sea breeze on my face. I lay on a deck chair, sipping iced coconut water, feeling the gloom that had settled in my heart slowly being dried by the sun. On the afternoon of the 3rd day, as the yacht prepared to return, my brother walked over with his phone and handed it to me. It's from Liam. I took it. The screen showed a video. The background seemed to be a large bridge. Liam was standing on the outside of the railing. The river wind whipped at his clothes. He was so thin he looked like a different person, his eyes empty and crazed. He was shouting my name at the camera, over and over again. Ava, I know I was wrong. Please come back. Without you, I have nothing. If you don't forgive me, I'll jump from here. At the end of the video, some police officers appeared behind him, seemingly trying to talk him down. The camera shook, and then the screen went black. Below the video was a text message. Miss Sue, I'm a friend of Liam's. He's in a very unstable state right now, constantly repeating your name. The doctors say he has severe depression and schizoaffective tendencies. Could you, please come and see him, just once? Maybe you can talk some sense into him. I finished watching and, with a blank expression, handed the phone back to Damien. Damien, reply to him for me. What should I say? Tell him, it's never going to happen. Damien paused, then a sly, fox-like smile spread across his face. All right. He took out his own phone and began to type furiously. The sea breeze was warm and salty. In the distance, seagulls chased the setting sun. Everything was a new beginning. My birthday party was a grand affair. It was held on my family's yacht, with only close family and friends invited. I wore a red evening gown, holding my father's arm as I accepted everyone's well wishes. Halfway through the party, one of my father's friends, Mr. Zhang from Titan Group, came over with a glass of wine. Ava, happy birthday, he said with a smile. Thank you, Uncle Zhang, I replied, smiling. Speaking of which, I should be thanking you, Mr. Zhang said, lowering his voice. If it wasn't for your warning, our company almost partnered with that problematic company and almost hired that Liam guy. I hear that kid has completely lost his mind now. I raised an eyebrow but said nothing. After he was rescued from the bridge that day, he was sent straight to a psychiatric hospital. His parents sold their house back home to pay for his treatment, but not long after, they found out his father has terminal liver cancer. His mother couldn't take the shock and fell ill too. The whole family is ruined. Mr. Zhang shook his head, sighing. As for that Luna woman, the amount was too large. She'll probably get 7 or 8 years. Her ex-husband was ruthless too. Not only did he get all his money back, but he also exposed evidence of her infidelity during their marriage. Now, her reputation is completely destroyed. He spoke of these things as if they were a story that had nothing to do with me. I just listened quietly, then raised my glass and smiled at him. It's all in the past, Uncle Zhang. Let's not talk about such unpleasant things. Right. On such a happy day, let's not talk about those unlucky people. Mr. Zhang quickly agreed. After he left, Damien came over and asked in a low voice, any regrets? I shook my head. No, they just got what they deserved. My kindness and understanding were reserved for those who deserved them. For those who had hurt me, I was never stingy with my indifference and my methods. Later that night, as the guests began to leave, I went out onto the deck alone, enjoying the sea breeze. My phone vibrated. It was a long text message from an unknown number. Ava, it's Liam. I asked a nurse to send this last message for me. I know I was wrong, and I deserve everything that's happened to me. I'm not asking for your forgiveness. I just want to tell you that meeting you was the luckiest thing that ever happened to me, and losing you was the stupidest thing I've ever done. If there's a next life, I hope I can meet you sooner. Before Luna, before all the mess, I wish you happiness. I looked at the message, feeling nothing. I reached out my finger and pressed the delete button. The city lights in the distance were brilliant, like a river of stars falling to earth. A new chapter of my story had begun, and the people and events of the past had long been